Passengers aboard. Secure all cargo. Engine room, stand by. Cast off bow line. Engine room, full steam ahead. Greetings, folks. This is your pilot speaking from the wheelhouse. Welcome aboard the Mark Twain, Queen of the Riverboats. Still our most important means of transportation here on the frontier. We are now beginning a steam-powered journey down the rivers of America for a first-hand look at our country's growth westward from the shores of the Mississippi. To the starboard, Tom Sawyer's Island, where Tom and Huck explore Injun Joe's secret cave, visit the old grist mill, and climb to their lofty treehouse up on Indian Hill. Attention, deck watch. New Orleans Square, dead ahead. Stand by for possible heavy water traffic. Ahead is the Paris of the western frontier, the grand old city of New Orleans. Along her winding street, you can hear the sounds of Dixieland jazz. Here in the Delta City, cotton is king, the chief cargo of riverboats like our Mark Twain. This bristling port is also the gateway to the Spanish Main and the pirates of the Caribbean. Beyond New Orleans Square is the tower where trains take on water for their steam engines before heading out into the frontier. Next to the water tower is an old mansion that hasn't been occupied for many years. They claim it's haunted now, and sometimes when the river's quiet, we hear strange and eerie sounds from over that way, as though somebody was preparing the house for visitors. In fact, they say the river folks are planning to open it up this year. Off the port bow, the dock for the rafts that sailed at Tom Sawyer's Island, and the landing for the Mike Fink keel boats that cruise the frontier river. We're also passing Fowler's Harbor, home port for the proud three-masted windjammer, Columbia. On Tom Sawyer's Island, you see Castle Rock, the natural arch bridge, and the last outpost of civilization, Old Fort Wilderness, shelter and protection for the hardy pioneers pushing ahead into unsettled territory. Off the port bow, a friendly Indian village where members of many tribes gather to perform ancient ceremonial dances. Along the river's edge is the dock for the Indian war canoes we often see in frontier waters. Now, as we enter the wilderness and backwoods of the frontier, look for moose, elk, deer, and other wildlife along the riverbank. We're now passing beyond the limits of protection from Fort Wilderness. That village of teepees on the island belongs to a hostile Indian tribe that roams this territory. Attention, deck watch. Burning settler's cabin off starboard bow. Often settlers in this area are not welcome because of unfriendly tribes, and as you can see, some fall victim to Indian arrows. Indian war party off port, midships. Crew, stand by. The war party high on the bank will probably let us pass through. The Indians call our steamboat Penelor, meaning fire canoe, because of the fire billowing from our smokestacks. They believe our ship is their legendary comet of the summer returning. We're now passing a village of friendly Indians. Fur trappers traveling the river in keel boats often stop here to barter for pelts and other valuable goods. Beyond the ridge ahead is nature's wonderland. On occasion we see pack mules and even old mining trains winding through the frontier, bound for bear country, Beaver Valley, and the great living desert. The waterfalls ahead come from Cascade Peak, highest point in the wilderness. On the island you can see an Indian burial ground. Those who fall in battle are placed atop the traditional bed of death. At night, the Indians come to mourn beside warriors who have brought great honor to their tribe. Heading back to civilization, we again enter territory safely under the protection of Fort Wilderness. Off the starboard bow lies Smuggler's Cove, spanned by the suspension and floating barrel bridges. Off the port bow, Big Thunder Falls, the last sign of wilderness in these parts. Ahead you can see the Frontier Landing, where we'll soon be tying up to disembark as our journey comes to an end. This is your pilot saying thank you for sailing with us. Watch your step while going ashore, and come back and cruise with us again. Engine room, approach levee at 1/4 steam. All hands stand by to go ashore.